Hi everyone and welcome to another recipe video. And today I'm making these banana and matcha custard stuffed Imagawayaki, also known as obanyaki or wheel cakes. Now I'm really lucky because I have this mini wheel cake maker machine that my husband Mr. Tash Cakes bought me from China, but you can sometimes find them on Amazon. Unfortunately, at this time of recording this video I couldn't find any, but I could find a manual stave top one, so I've popped the link down below, which is an affiliate link, just so you know. So let's get started making this popular Japanese street food snack. First we're going to make the custard. Take 1 tablespoonful of matcha, and I've got 250 milliliters of milk here, but I'm just going to whisk in half of it, because if you don't whisk it in now then it's going to go lumpy later. So give it a good old whisk and just use half of that milk. Set that aside for a second. Now in a saucepan with the heat off to begin with, adding 35 grams of custard powder, and we're going to add that matcha milk mixture in now. Remember the heat's off at this point, we're going to switch it on in a minute. Now we're going to add the rest of the milk, and because matcha is precious and unfortunately quite expensive, I'm trying to get as much out of this as possible. So I've just added that to the matcha bowl and give it a swirl. Just give it a quick mix to help the custard powder dissolve. And of course we need to add a little bit of sugar, so I've got 40 grams of caster sugar here. And as usual I'm going to add just a little pinch of salt just to bring that flavour out. Giving it another stir off the heat just to make sure there are no custard powder lumps in there. We want this to be as smooth as possible. And lastly we're going to add 25 grams of melted unsalted butter, which will just make it that bit richer. Now as you can see I've turned the heat on, and this is a medium heat, and I'm going to keep whisking and stirring this until it's really thick. I'm speeding this up so you don't have to wait for as long as I did. Now this is just about done. We're going to take it off the heat and we're going to scrape it into a bowl. And afterwards you're going to cover it with cling film, but make sure the cling film is resting on the surface. This will help stop a skin from forming. Now this skin that forms is actually because when you heat milk up, some of the proteins float to the surface and coagulate, and they form that tough skin, so now you know why. Now we're going to take 110 grams of flour and sift in a tablespoonful of matcha powder, because now we're going to make the wheel cake batter, which is basically a pancake batter. Now we're adding 2 tablespoonfuls of caster sugar. I'm just giving it a little bit of a stir here just to combine everything. And then we're going to add a pinch of salt. You notice I like doing this. I think it just helps to offset the sugar a bit. Give it another little stir because we don't want any matcha lumps. And now we're going to add the wet ingredients. So we're cracking in 1 egg. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoonfuls of vegetable oil. Any flavourless cooking oil will do. Or melted butter, but I couldn't be asked to melt butter this time, so I just added oil. Now we're adding 130 milliliters of milk. We're going to give it a good old stir until we have a smooth batter. And as you can see, I'm working from the inside out just to help prevent lumps. Even if there are, they're quite easy to beat out at this point. Now we are ready to cook our wheel cakes / Imagawayaki. So I'm taking a plate here, and I'm going to slice up my banana, and as you can see this plate has been broken and I have done a bootleg kintsugi job on it. That's the gold veins you can see there. Right, we're going to switch my machine on, or you're going to preheat it on the stove top and grease it with a little bit of oil. And now I'm adding banana chips to the bottom just for decoration, but they also give a nice crunch. And you're going to half fill these with your batter, no more, because it does puff up a lot. As you will see, I did overfill mine to begin with, but that's not a problem. Place a couple of slices of banana in there, and then you're going to add a spoonful of matcha custard, and only on one side, and after 2 minutes you're going to flip over the empty sides onto your filled sides, like so, and give them a little squish down. Now as you can see, I put a bit too much in some of them, but it's really easy to clean up because the whole surface of this pan is hot, so it cooks the pancake batter really fast, and you can just scrape it off like this. After another couple of minutes, you're actually going to flip them back over onto the other side just to complete the cooking and make sure they're properly fused together. As you can see, I'm using a toothpick just to gently ease them out like this. So flip them over and now cook them for 1 more minute, and then you're pretty much done. Now you can use chopsticks or tongs or whatever to help lift those cakes out. I have asbestos hands after years and years of abuse in the kitchen, so I can just go right in with my hands and do this, but do be careful if you're doing this at home yourself. Watch out for that heat, this does get really hot. So I'm just going to repeat this over and over again until I've used everything up. As you can see, I forgot to put banana chips on one side for these, and for these ones I just totally gave up in the end because I ran out of banana. So I just have 2 matcha custard roll cakes only, which isn't a problem. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full recipe on my blog tashcakes.com and find me on Instagram as tashcakestastes. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you liked it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular and to help this video pop up on that pesky YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, be nice, and have a good week.